Hello everyone, welcome to another fantastic episode of On the Sofa with Sisu. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I've got a little icebreaker.
Super.
So, question this week is, what was your childhood cereal and what does it say about you?
I don't actually really like cereal. I'm not.
Always has to be fucking different. Always.
I'm not a cereal kind of person.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like those people that eat cereal in the middle of the day? God, what is wrong with you? Why are you eating cereal in the middle of the day?
I love cereal for lunch.
Yeah, it's so gross. Yeah, anyway, so I did used to eat cereal when I was a kid. But the only cereal that I remember eating was Cinnamon Grahams. My mum just absolutely loved them, and that was like the only cereal. Actually, we used to have All Bran as well, which I do kind of like still, on the occasion that I might fancy cereal, which is probably like once every 2 years. Yeah, Cinnamon Grahams.
No cereal brands approach us for sponsorship because Louisa's no. No. Kellogg's, sorry.
I don't mind Special K. Yeah, so Cinnamon Grahams, oh my God, I bloody loved them. But now I would eat them dry, but not with milk. The funny thing is, right, I actually went round to my mum's the other day and she had a box of Cinnamon Grahams, but she had they're not called that anymore. They're called Cinnamon Squares, I think. And then she had like a cheap box next to it that was like, I don't know, Aldi or Lidl or something like that. And they were open, so I had a little...
Other brands are available.
They were horrible. Don't get Cinnamon Squares from Aldi or Lidl, they're gross.
Oh my God, you're literally burning
cardboard.
You're burning all possible avenues here for us. Aldi, Lidl, Kellogg's, they might want to approach us. They might want to work with us. Sorry.
Not sorry.
What does it say about you, Cinnamon Grahams? Cinnamon Grahams, Cinnamon Squares?
What does it say about me?
Dry.
It was all that was available. It wasn't a choice.
Cinnamon Squares.
I don't feel like it says anything about me, to be honest, because it was pushed on me by my mum.
Oh.
Yeah. And now I don't like cereal, so there we go.
Oh, there goes that.
What a tragic
fun
story.
Little icebreaker game. Fucking hell. What a great start to episode number 4. Well, my cereal...
Such a Wednesday Addams.
You are such a Wednesday Addams. Like, it's ridiculous.
I know.
So, my cereal, just, to make it fun and light, back to, fun and light show that we are. Mine is... Oh my God, I've forgotten which one I was going to pick. So basically, I've got 2. One is Cocoa Pops, because for obvious reason, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And I just love chocolate. But yeah, I do love chocolate. And I also used to love Crunchy Nut. Oh my God, Crunchy Nut cornflakes.
Crunchy Nut.
Oh my God, yes. Love Crunchy Nut.
Anything like that. Crunchy Nut, cornflakes, it's just a soggy mess.
Oh no, it's the best when you put Crunchy Nut with warm milk. Not hot milk, warm milk.
Oh my
God, so nice.
Oh
I love it. I love a bit of sogginess.
No.
Or if you do the same thing with Cocoa Pops and you put warm milk, and then at the end you have that nice warm chocolate milk. Oh, amazing. And I feel like what it says about me is that I am just sweet,
Sweet and soggy. Lovely.
I'm sweet sometimes, but I can be quite soggy sometimes as well, yeah. That is very much my personality, sweet and soggy. Love it. Anyway, moving on swiftly. What's the word on the street? Word on the street, word on the street. Word on the street.
What's the word on the street?
Word on the street, word on the street. Let's have a look on the word on the street. I have got a couple of bits and bobs. So, shall we discuss this thing that I read about... Hold on. It's going back again to the Grammys. I just I know you don't want to talk about it, but just lastly,
Talking about the Grammys again.
just one last thing that I saw. The BBC. You need to do better, love. You need to do better. So the BBC has apologised after using a photo of Viola Davis during their coverage of Beyonce at the Grammy Awards.
Oh, right, yeah.
Taken to Twitter, the broadcaster wrote, "We apologise for the mistake last night when our news channels briefly showed a photograph of Viola Davis from January's Golden Globes Awards alongside a headline about Beyonce." How do you even fuck up like that?
Yeah, I know. It's probably not a fuck up, really, is it?
What?
Well, I just think there's probably so many people that has to go through before it actually hits the screen. Like, who's not noticing that?
Yeah. So what, you think they've just gone, just black woman?
Oh, sod it, just use that one.
Just use that picture. Fuck.
No.
I didn't think like that. I was just
No.
like, someone's made a really huge cock up. But you're right. Like, maybe they didn't make a cock up. They're just like, can't be asked. Fuck it. No one's going to notice.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know what to think
you
about that.
can't.
I don't know
You
what to think
cannot.
about
You
that.
cannot go.
It's very odd.
No one's going to notice that Viola Davis instead of Beyonce. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Lovey, but, you know. Anyway, the other bit of news that I saw was, and this one cracked me up. Woman was declared dead, discovered breathing at a funeral home.
Oh my gosh, what?
So, New York.
What? How does she go from
Oh, stop it.
the hospital bed to
So
the
let me read it.
morgue to from the fridge to the morgue to the
So this is
funeral
from
parlour?
puberty. Is it puberty? Is that how you say it? Puberty.
Puberty.
I can't say. Is it puberty?
I don't know what you're trying to
Anyway,
say.
it's from rap.
One or the other.
Rap and puberty. How do you say it? Fuck. Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
the news reads as New York woman was pronounced dead and starts breathing hours later, according to Fox News. A Long Island, New York woman who was pronounced dead at the nursing home she lived in started breathing again after she was taken to a local funeral home, according to reports. They reported that the
right.
82-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the Waters Edge Rehab and Nursing Centre in New York at 11:15 a.m. on Saturday. And then at 1:30 p.m. she was taken to the funeral home in Miller Place in New York. And at 2:09 p.m. she started breathing again. So she was dead between 11 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Wow.
She had a real nice rat nap.
Seriously deep one, yeah.
Deep
Yeah.
sleep. Like, that's
She's a
deep.
miracle.
I mean, bless her. She probably woke up and was like, fuck, I wish I was dead. I wanted to go, you know? She was like, I'm done.
Oh, no. She's like that.
And then there was something else. There was something else that I read about news that I want to share, but I don't know if I want to share because, like...
Well, you've said it now, so you're going to share it, aren't you?
I know.
Why are you being dramatic?
Because it is dramatic. I don't even know if you've seen it.
Oh, God. Is it really bad? Is it, like, sad bad?
No, it's just like... I'm going to read it. Anyway. Okay. Oh, fuck.
Bloody
Here
hell,
it
you
goes.
deserve a Grammy. An Oscar.
Burner Boy.
Oh. What?
I'm doing it.
Oh, God, go on.
Burner Boy is homophobic.
What do you mean?
I know.
What's the proof? What's the evidence? What do you mean?
I can't.
What, did he say something?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Go on, what is it?
I can't. It's actually making me want to cry. I don't know
let
why
me
I'm
read
getting
it then.
emotional.
Come on.
I'm going to read it. In his lyrics,
In his lyrics?
he says, I know be no one of those men where they fear fuck tau where come they fuck nat yash. Basically, translation, I am not one of those men afraid to fuck pussy, but then ends up fucking an ass.
Right.
And he's now been accused of obviously homophobic slurs. And people are saying that we must hold him accountable, just like we held, Buju Banto, Elephant Man, Beanie Man, and Bounty Killer, etc.
What song is
Celebrities
that?
with this level of popularity have to take responsibility for their fans, including the LGBT people.
Oh, man.
I actually need to find out what song it is because I don't actually know what song it is, which is terrible in terms of me telling the news. But yeah, I don't know. I need to come back to you on that one. I might ask my brother.
Has he like spoken out about it at all?
No, he's been tagged a few times as well. No, he hasn't. He hasn't commented.
Oh, that's really sad.
It's upsetting because, you know, I'm a huge fan and, you know, he's like family. At this point, he's basically my brother. But, you know, we have to hold people accountable for their actions. And, like, he needs to come back and he needs to come out and speak up about what he's done and say, you know, he's apologising or whatever.
And if he doesn't, are we still going to his concert in June? Or are we boycotting?
This is what I mean.
What?
I don't know, because obviously it's a vibe, but obviously it's not okay. I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't read it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, but like we teach people not to be
A lot
ignorant.
of people do that though, yeah.
If you catch me at the Burna Boy concert, don't say a word. Don't say anything, okay? Don't say anything.
If you catch me, it will be all over his socials.
Just let me shake. Just let me be shaking my yash everywhere, okay? But you know what though? The thing is, and this is a thing in the music industry around lyrics and around words, because if you listen to a lot of music, there is a lot of misogyny, homophobia, racism that stemmed in music, and the music industry as a whole has a lot of work that needs to be done.
Oh, it's flawed.
Yeah, a lot of work, and if we were to really think about it, if we were really to be like serious, you know, freedom fighters, serious change makers, and we really want to like be one of those people, we wouldn't listen to music. There would literally be like no songs you could listen to anymore.
You could listen to Electric Umbrella.
Sorry?
Electric Umbrella.
What's that?
They're like a little group that sing about like being different and unique and like nobody's normal and everyone has got like special talents and uniqueness about them, and yeah, they're really cute.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice. I learned about them from Maisie, obviously. They went into her school and performed, and she absolutely gassed them. She loved it. And then, actually, I met one of their members a few days ago. My mum actually knows one of them, which is funny. Yeah,
Random.
I met him. Yeah, his name's Chris, and he has Down syndrome. And he actually had the Electric Umbrella jumper on when I saw him. And I was like, no way, you know, little synchronicities. Yeah. And I was like, last week, Electric Umbrella were at Maisie's school. But yeah, so we could listen to their music.
What about my Afro beats? Oh, my Amapiano.
Amapiano is like indifferent. There's no lyrics to a lot of it.
Some of them have lyrics.
Some of them have lyrics, but minimal.
I'm going to come back to everyone about how I feel about the whole situation with Burna Boy, because obviously
you need to digest.
Yeah, I need to digest it, because it's similar to like the whole Beyonce thing, and obviously, you know, it's a public knowledge now that I am going to Beyonce, and you know, I'm going to be shaking my yash there too, and she obviously has not come out and spoken up about why she performed in Dubai. So, you know, I need to hold myself accountable sometimes for my own actions. So I'll come back to you about how I do that. What my reparation might be. Anyway, I completely forgot to ask you how the week was.
Yeah, week's been okay. I feel like this week's been a little bit of a bland week, to be honest. Not much has been going down. I'm just, you know, catching up on washing and doing homework.
God, if you talk about your washing
oh my God, Maisie
time.
got her SATs papers. What? I was freaking out. I was freaking out. I was like, why have you got SATs papers? You're 7. Like, this is a bit much. But actually, I opened one of the SATs papers, yeah, the maths one. Obviously, you were there at this point. I don't know if you were there actually for this bit. And I was like, what the hell? 4 minus 1?
Yeah.
4 minus 1?
That was the first question.
That's one of the questions in the SATs paper. At 7 years old, 4 minus 1.
But then she had
like, they're really holding them to high standards these days.
Then she had another one which was like 80 divided by 10.
Oh, yeah.
And that was, honestly...
Oh, that was an absolute struggle.
It was a struggle. I had to witness Louisa doing math lessons for a 7-year-old, and it was bloody painful. It was so painful.
I don't have very much patience when it comes to the homework side of things. It's just not my, it's just not my forte. If it's reading, I'm there all day long. Reading, a bit of English, love that. But all the other stuff, I just don't have the patience for math, basically, because I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I don't have the tools to be able to explain it to her in a way that she'll understand it, because quite frankly, I don't understand it. Yeah. So it's very difficult for me to translate. I'm
going to have to throw you under the bus here because it was too funny. Maisie asked a question about what something and something minus this. And she was like, is this the answer, mummy? And you went, and you got your phone out and you were like,
oh no! Yeah. Are you using your
calculator? And I was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing for you.
I know. But do you know what? So a friend of ours, actually, we were chatting to yesterday, in one of our group WhatsApps, is waiting for an assessment to be assessed for dyscalculia, I think it's called. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. And then I looked it up, and I was like, quite possibly I sit in that category. So if I do, you're out of order.
I mean, I'm not out of order because...
You're taking the piss out of me.
It was funny. I mean, Maisie took the piss out of you too. She's out of order too, but it was just funny. It was funny.
It was so easy. It was basically 2 divided by 2. She was like, is that 1? And I just got so like, but is it 1? I think it's 1. Yeah, it's 1. Hang on, I need to double check it.
See, I wasn't going to throw her under the bus that badly and tell them what the actual was.
I don't care. I'm bad at math.
Oh God, yeah, that was interesting. It was a really funny session watching you teaching Maisie, because I was sitting there going, it's not how I got taught at school. I wanted to jump in, but I was like, it's not my place. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, you absolutely should have.
I was like,
instead of letting me struggle and her not learn anything.
I did a little bit, and I was like, because that's what the squares are for. The squares are there for you to like be able to go, right, this is 1 square, 2 square.
Oh yeah, of course,
and use it to count. And she was like, there's no squares on that question. And I was like,
you know how anal she is.
She is. Oh my God, she's a madam. She's an absolute madam. Maisie, if you're listening to this, you're a madam.
That's polite.
My week was good. Thanks for asking.
I can't get a word in edgeways.
My week's been really good. I feel like this week has been a bit not bland. It's just been a bit. I feel like I've been a bit all over the shop. I was in Bristol for 2 days, and we've been studio today. Like, it just feels like it's been a bit all over the shop.
We had a good day yesterday.
We had a great day yesterday. We were at Food Matters Live, and we were speaking at the BFI at the South Bank. Louisa and I couldn't decide on what the BFI stood for.
Oh my God! Yeah.
What does BFI?
British Foundational Institution.
What is the BFI? What does it mean? I was like, oh, I wonder if you can Google it. Eventually, we found out that it's the British Film Institution,
which we were laughing our heads at because we were like, oh my God, there's a cinema here.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Sometimes we do have airhead moments.
A lot of the time, I wouldn't say it's sometimes.
I would say sometimes. Yeah.
I'd call this an airhead moment. But yeah, I spoke at the BFI on a panel around inspiring young people in the food industry, and the panel conversation was all around diversity and inclusivity in the food and drink world. And I was on the panel with some really interesting people, actually, because people that I wouldn't normally
sit on a panel with. Yeah, it's normally like HR people. It's normally like execs and stuff. But there was a lady from Pret who was talent and development, learning and development. I think she looked after, and so she did a lot of work around apprenticeships and stuff at Pret. And there was another lady who owns her own business. She was a nutritionist.
But it was a diversity nutritionist. And it's all around kind of breaking down those barriers around nutrition not being just for one certain type of person, and thinking about culture when it comes to nutrition, which I thought was just like mind-blowing, because I was like,
She's a real advocate for cross-cultural conversation.
Yeah, and it's like, why haven't we done that before? Why is this like a new thing that I've just heard of and actually should be something we're talking about all the time?
Yeah.
And then it was chaired by the lovely Rob Hobson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another nutritionist.
Another nutritionist.
He's got a book.
He's got a book. What was the book called again? The Detox Kitchen.
Bible.
The Detox Kitchen Bible. Yeah. Yeah. I got you it as a gift. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Yeah. That's what was the doorbell. I was meant to come before.
Oh,
I was going to give it to you.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, how sweet.
I had a whole thing planned.
Oh, I love
Fucking
that.
Amazon.
Oh.
There's another client.
Oh my
yeah.
God, no one's going to want to work with us.
But yeah, it was a really.
Oh,
it was.
that's sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was nice. I love speaking on panels. Like panels is like definitely my thing. I do love it. But I love it more when the panels are actually diverse.
Yeah.
I know we said we're not going to talk about diversity, but it really does come into play when you're sharing experiences. If you're sharing experiences in an audience of people, it's really important that there's different voices from different walks of life, because otherwise it's a what's it called? A something chamber. Echo chamber. It's a bloody echo chamber. And that's what I feel like sometimes when I sit on panels, I'm the only one that's different and everyone else is the echo chamber. And it's quite nice that everyone else in the panel was so different, and we were talking about different experiences, different stories, different industries.
Yeah, it was nice. And different avenues of getting into the industry. That's what I found quite interesting.
Yeah,
it was nice. It was a good conversation to listen to, actually.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
We made a lot of connections yesterday, which was lovely. Love a bit of networking.
Yeah, we need to do more networking.
Lots of conversations and networking.
Yeah, so yeah, my week's been good. I had to also say goodbye to an old plant of mine, which I actually got a bit emotional about because I'm a plant man. My house is like a little jungle, and Louisa comes around and always tells me off for not deheading my plants and stuff.
And I feel like this plant has actually been blamed on me.
Well, if we're really going to get into it, now that you mentioned it...
I just feel like every time you're talking about it, you're throwing me some real shade.
I went on holiday for like just over 2 weeks at Christmas and for New Year, and Louisa's job was to look after the plants.
And I did.
And I came back and most of the plants were dead.
That's not true.
They were. Sean literally was livid. Sean was like, what has happened to all the plants? Why are they all dead?
So I watered them on the Friday after they left, because they left on a Friday, and then I went around a week later, watered them on the Friday, and then the following week I would have gone round on the Friday again, but I got hit with some wild illness that I have never experienced before on the Wednesday, I think it was, and I was out for the whole weekend. It was right over Christmas. It was literally like Christmas night, Boxing Day, the next day, the next day, the next day. And I couldn't get there. And then they were back on the Monday. So in hindsight, they didn't get watered for 2 days over what they should have been.
Wow. The plant that got the worst impact was an old dear friend of mine. And we just couldn't revive it. So we had to throw it away.
It's also not true.
Well, I've tried reviving it. It's now, February? And it's not revived.
You have got to wait until spring at least.
Yeah, I'm still, remember my manifestation from a couple of weeks ago, patience? I'm still working on it.
It's outside now. It's going to die.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. I actually said
it's got frostbite.
I actually said to Sean, I was like, some miracle might happen if you put it outside. It might come back to life.
What? It's going to die instantly.
It's dead. It's literally outside. It's dead. But it was an old dear friend of mine. It was been with me for many, many years, and we've had to say goodbye to it. So
hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. But we went and invested in a new plant, which is taking up a lot of space.
It's
and
beautiful.
I love it. It's lovely.
It's a really nice replacement.
It's a lovely replacement.
You're welcome.
But I've had that other one for over 6-7 years.
Sometimes you have to trim the fat, babes.
Ouch. That was like family. Wish you could do that to some of mine. Anyway, let's get into the tea. This week's episode, we are talking about... What are we talking about? She can't remember.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. We're talking about doing the right thing. So the question that we often get asked is the why, right? Why do we need to do this work? So we'll speak to clients and they'll be like, what's the why? Like, what are we communicating with our teams? Why are we doing this? What would your answer be?
Why not?
Why not? Simply as, why not? And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, Louisa. Why not? Mic drop, leave the room.
But this is basically what I am like. I let everyone else do the talking so that I can absorb and digest everyone's chitter-chatter, and then I will deliver a
Closing
more
statement.
suitable conversation.
I always say to people, why? Why do you do this? And I say, well, first of all, because it's the right thing to do. Like, doing the right thing is so important. No? Why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah, of course it is. But, like, the right thing to do is actually different for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's very, like, broad and...
I don't know. Doing the right thing surely is... There's like a really clear outline of what the right thing is. And then the middle of it can be coloured in differently by everyone.
Be kind, be empathetic, listen,
that's the outline.
Communicate, all of those
and then
things.
The middle bit can be coloured in differently depending on who you are and where you are. Yeah.
You should draw a picture of it.
I should draw
This could be the new like Sylvia Duckworth will.
Do the right thing. I'm not very good at art, so I'm not going to bother that. And I've got too many tabs open. I'm not going to do that. But I do think that people forget that the reason why you do this work is because, number one, it's the right thing to do, but number two is because it has so many benefits that can be listed off. And I think people always like to go back to the stats and to the figures, but I personally like to fall back on, would you not want your people to come into work, or would you not want to be in a place where everyone feels like they belong? Right? That's why you do it. Because if you don't look after the individuals in your workplace, in your place of education, or even in your community, and everyone feels like they're turning up every day and they feel miserable, they feel like they don't belong, they feel like they're undervalued, they feel like they're not seen, they feel like they're being attacked constantly, that's not nice. That's a real negative feeling for someone on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, it is. And that's about the person. But I think, like, for businesses and, business leaders and all of that, like, why would you not do that? Because if you don't do that and everybody is feeling the way that you just explained, then how is your business thriving? Like, what you're not getting 100% out of the people that you're employing because you're not making them feel included and belong. And therefore, you're not making as much money as you potentially could because you're not having the best output that you could for your business.
And I think sometimes when you say to people, "Oh, you're doing this because it's the right thing to do," and people go, "Well, what is the right thing to do?" Like, and that's, remember we had this conversation before where we talked about sometimes with this work, it feels like you're creating more boxes and segregation and divides in society. And some people struggle with that because they're like, well, the right thing would be that everyone just gets treated the same because it's easier. But actually what we're trying to tell people is that it's not easier. It's easier to treat everyone the same, but actually that's not the right thing to do. It's quite a difficult conversation, do you not think? Yeah, no, I do. I don't think it's it's not about treating everybody the same. We just can't do that these days because there are so many different types of people and so many, different ways that people learn things, understand things, take things in, and it just doesn't work that way. And you're not nurturing people by doing that. Yeah, that's a good word. You're not nurturing people. Yeah. Basically, businesses have to be like, carers these days. That is exactly it. And I sometimes say to people as well, I'm like, gone are the days where you go into work and work is work, and he's very, how people say, don't bring your shit into work. Yeah. Leave your problems at the door. That's not a thing. If someone said that to me when I walked into somewhere to work somewhere, I'd be like, you need to go and fucking get my problems from the door and bring it in for me. Do you know what I mean? You cannot go around telling people that anymore because unfortunately, we are like work, businesses, companies, places of education are now carers. You are now mum, dad, sister, daughter, doctor, like everything. You are be all and end all.
Because at the end of the day, we spend so much time at work, like more time at work than we spend with our friends or our families. You know, maybe not so much in this era when we've sort of slowed down a little bit. We've got like hybrid working and things like that. But still, you know, this is one of the things where I used to work. This is one of the things that I always said, like, we are here 5 days a week from like 8:30 in the morning till 6 at night. And then more and longer when we had seasons on. Like we should be a family. Like we should be, or not so bad family, but we are a community. We should be like, you know, making sure that everybody feels safe, everybody feels comfortable, everybody feels like they can speak and have a voice. Like, and if we're not doing that, then we're really making a lot of people depressed. And that then trickles out into their personal lives and affects a lot more other people.
That's actually a really interesting point, isn't it? Is the fact that not only are you potentially affecting individuals, but you're the domino effect that you can call it into other people's lives, like their personal lives. It can affect their family, their friends. Yeah. Never thought about it that way, but that's really the domino effect. Write that down, everyone. The domino effect. It's a good one. I'm going to sit with that for a while. I've got a question for you because we get asked it a lot. We actually get I feel like every time we have a meeting, we get asked it like, what are the measurables? How are we going to know when we've completed this work?
Oh, it's a question I really, it actually just really gets my goat.
I know. I know.
Like, what are the measurables? How long will this last? When can we see a difference?
Yeah, when do we see the change? And like, how long's a piece of string?
Why did you do that when you said that?
Isn't that what they do? How long's a piece of string? I'm sure that's what they do.
What? That's like the winds of change.
Oh.
How long's a piece of
No, but the question is, do you know what? It's not annoying. I get it. I completely get it because even when we do stuff for our business, I like to know the measurables. I like to know how we know that we're doing a good job. But I guess for business, when they're investing money into something, they want to be able to go, it's really hard to, I'm going to start up again. It's really hard to get the money to put behind this work. When you then get the money, the business wants to know how do they know that they're getting a return on investment, right?
Yeah, of course.
How do they know that this is working? How do they know that the money they've invested is doing something better for the business? Yeah. And that, I guess, is really difficult because I'm literally like, this work it's not what's the word? Momentary.
It's not momentary, and it's also not immediate. There's not immediate effect. That's the thing that I think that people need to understand. There's no immediate effects, as in like you can't do one workshop and then be like a couple of weeks later like, right, okay, is everybody like now an anti-racist? Does everyone now feel like belong? Does everyone now belong here? Can we stop? I think you just have to realise that it takes time and you got to trust the process.
You have got to trust the process. And it's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's not a one step thing. It's like you really have to build the foundations. You have to embed those foundations. You then have to continuously drum the drum. Beat the drum, whatever. You have to beat the drum for a long time and then you'll start to see change. Yeah. And the change can be even so slight where it's just like...
incremental little changes.
Yeah, it's just like, it might be like one person is like, oh, I've completely decided to stop using that word because I've learnt that from a workshop. And that's a change. And that's the stuff that you can't actually measure. Yeah. And like, I think once...
Even though that doesn't happen, I mean, you do see changes bigger than that more often than waiting like, you know, a whole year or whatever, you do. Like, I don't want to scare people thinking like, you know, you can do one workshop and nothing will happen, or do a couple workshops and nothing will happen for like the next year. But you have to be committed. That's one thing. You have to be committed to it.
And I do think like you're right. You know, don't want to scare people, but I think it's one of those things is that I think when we've done workshops and when we've done talks and stuff, you spark interest.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
The curiosity that you spark in people then leads them to potentially go and do more research, come back and have more conversations, and that's change. That
is change, exactly.
Yeah, but that's unmeasurable.
The conversational piece, it is unmeasurable,
and that's unmeasurable.
Unless you do get a lot of the time, you get people doing exactly that, going off, doing some research because you've sparked curiosity. They want to ask more questions, and then you get like people who are bold enough to like go to their leaders and be like, you know, I want to set up this group, I want to set up this network, blah blah blah, and these are little changes that you start to see.
Yeah.
And then maybe you do like, you know, an E&I survey or something like that, and you start collecting some data, and this is when you start seeing bigger change, and then you can actually measure from that.
Yeah.
So it's not really the first piece that you can measure from. It's kind of like I don't know, when you're kind of a nudging.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know.
It's like you can't really measure it from just doing like your first workshop.
Yeah.
You have to kind of do a little bit of work, and then you can kind of set these. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word. I'll come back to you on the word.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Word's gone.
The other thing that I was going to say was a good way to start to see some of the change.
For instance, okay. Like, you know, just quickly while it's popped into my head. For instance, with TB, you've got the Champions Workshop, Power of Inclusion.
It means Turtle Bay, by the way.
You got the Champions Workshop, Power of Inclusion, and, you know, people are starting to talk about it. You're building networks, and then you're doing like your the anti-racist workshop and stuff, and then we've got the E&I survey, and then that's going to measure all of that work. And then you do one a year later. That's the starting point of really measuring a difference.
It's
not from way back when we did the Wellbeing Champions. It's only now really that you're starting to see the changes.
I see what you mean. So it's like what we said, it's about building the foundations.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe start to then do a survey, ask your team more, and then you get the stats and the data, and then from there on you can start to measure the success, I guess, of what you're doing. Yeah. And I always say to people that it's a saying by Maya Angelou, right, which says the more we know, what's the say? Oh my God, how had I forgotten it? What's the quote? Maya Angelou, better quote.
When you know better, you do better.
When you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
But I also think when you know better, you actually will speak up more. You will also potentially...
Oh, this one. No, this is a good one. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better.
That's it. I did then what I knew how to do.
It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Now that I know better, I do better. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's a great quote. And I think that leads into people potentially speaking up about things. So when things happen more, so you might as a business or you might as a group get more people reporting incidences or more conversations where people are like, I just witnessed this, I'm not sure if it's okay. And so you're starting to have more conversations about things, and you're like, whoa, why is everyone having issues with things? But that's actually, then you start measuring, that's the success of...
That is the success, because that is actually a reflection of how people have become more comfortable and feel more safe to actually speak out and speak up and you know, speak to their leaders and stuff about things that have potentially been going on for some time. That's actually a reflection of them feeling safer. So that's a success.
That is a success, yeah. But people wouldn't necessarily think about that as a measurable of success. No. A measure of success. I saw a quote which I loved, just to kind of summarise this thing around doing the right thing. It reads, I follow 3 rules: do the right thing, do the best you can, and always show people you care.
That's nice.
And I feel like that's why you do it, right? You do it because you're doing the right thing.
You want to show people you care.
You do the best you can as a business, as a society, as a community, and you do it because you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the people that care.
I love the people that care.
Oh my God, you literally just spat everywhere. That came out like... Soz.
I'm wet.
Soggy.
Oh my God, you are so
sweet
shady.
and soggy.
Oh God. Right. So this is the time of the show where we go into the questions from our lovely community. What's the community got to say today?
Community.
The community have...
Oh, yeah.
James is like, tell them about the phone. The phone. I don't remember the phone number, so I can't tell them about the phone.
It's the hotline.
What's the phone number?
It'll come up on the screen.
Oh my God. So we have now launched our WhatsApp.
Welcome to the hotline.
Welcome to the CC hotline. How can I help you? So we've got a CC hotline, and we are now taking text messages from people. Everyone, anyone. If you want to contact us, send us a photo, send us a voice note, you can do so by...
No nudes, please.
Oh my God, send the nudes. I didn't even think about nudes. Send them, please.
No nudes.
Send me the nudes. Oh my God, send nudes. Send nudes! Oh my God, I'm choking on my own excitement. So the telephone number to send your nudes, telephone number to send your voice notes.
I'm laughing because you literally look nude right now. You're in nude. You're wearing nude.
I'm wearing pink.
It's pretty nude.
The telephone number is 07902310585. I'll repeat. 07902310585.
You know, I just had a thought. Why is it that shade is nude? Because nude is actually when you're in the buff, right?
What is happening? What is happening? I'm literally giving people our WhatsApp number, and you're talking about nude.
Sorry, but I'm actually starting to think it's not a good word.
Nude?
No, it's not a good shade.
Nude?
Yeah, nude pink.
I've never heard of nude pink before.
Are you serious?
I've heard of pink and pink blush.
A pink blush, rosé.
I haven't heard of a pink nude.
You haven't worked in fashion.
If you've heard of a pink nude, it's coming up on the
Send
screen.
us a text.
If you've heard of pink nude, send us a text message, please, on 07902 310 585.
To be fair, yeah, it's actually not really. Well, it's kind of it's the shacket.
It's not pink nude. I am wearing pink. It's pink.
It
Anyway,
could be that.
back to the show.
The hotline.
Yeah, the hotline. So the hotline is live. We would love to hear more from you all. Please send us, messages, questions, voice notes.
Oh, yay for voice notes.
We're here for voice notes. We're a voice note community. We are a voice note community.
VNC.
And obviously they'll be played on the show, so keep them clean. Actually, no, don't keep them clean. I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Go in.
I don't mind.
Use effing and blinding and all sorts. Whatever. Sorry, mum. But yeah, so we have got some questions from the community. So it's actually a scenario-based question.
A what?
It's a scenario-based question. So I'm going to read it out.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
You are a lone LGBTQIA faculty member.
What's a faculty member?
Just a team member, I think.
Right, okay.
You're a team member from the LGBTQI community. And you are increasingly tasked with a multitude of duties above and beyond what is obliged contractually, merely because you are hold on, I've lost it. Oh shit.
Bloody hell.
Sorry. Merely because you are the best fit for the task. Initially, you revelled in the idea that your talents were needed in so many facets. But eventually, it becomes clear that whenever LGBTQI issues are arising, you are then the go-to person or the member of the team that has to then tackle those issues, merely because you happen to identify as LGBTQ plus IA. The constant barrage of duties and responsibilities takes its toll on you. How do you handle the situation?
Oh, if it was me, I'd just be going to whoever's delegating the tasks. I'd be going to them, and I would be honest and say, number one, I'm drowning.
I'm not waving. I'm drowning.
I'm not waving. I'm drowning. Number two, why do you keep on tasking me with these situations, with these tasks? Is it a clearer... I'm having a shit day with my words today.
Because this is following on from our tokenism episode last week. That's why. Well, it's not last week. It was this week because you're getting double whammy this week, aren't you?
Double whammy.
Double whammy. But I think
game show host.
I think that I would actually be more confrontational with it if it was me. I would. Not like aggressive.
Is that not confrontational though? Is that not confronting somebody saying why do you keep on tasking me?
No, I think
LGBTQIA.
I think rather than asking a question, I would more be like, this is making me feel like you are only approaching me because I'm LGBTQIA. I think I'd be more like to the point.
Oh, see, I feel like I'm more sneaky than that. I want to know what the situation is first before I respond. As I said earlier, I like to absorb the conversation, and then I got all the information, and I can give you like my best response or input, opinion, whatever you want to call it. And also, you know, I like to be able to use other people's. So, like for instance, this person, whatever this manager or leader would say to me, I can then use that in my response. And if I want to make it bad, I can make it bad. And if I want to see it as good, I can see it as good.
Yeah, but I think when you lead with the fact that this is how I feel about something, it's very then difficult for someone to argue around your feeling. Because if they do, that's called gaslighting.
Yeah, but you can still, even if you have all the information first, your feelings don't change, and you can still then deliver your feelings of whatever it is, whatever the person says, well, this is how you're making me feel. And by the sounds of it, that is what you're doing, based off of your response.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, both ways, there's neither ways are wrong or right, I guess. It's whatever suits you as said person, to deal with it in whatever you feel, however you feel comfortable. But I think, you know, some people are more confrontational. Some people are more
calculated.
I was going to say more like listen, gain enough information before they make a counter argument.
Yeah, calculated.
Okay, it sounds evil. Okay. And then the other part of the question was, how should your colleagues respond?
How should your colleagues respond?
Like, how should the person or the leader or the person respond if they have been asked, why are you constantly asking me to do it? What if it is that they are doing it because they feel like you are the LGBT person and the only one in the team, so they feel like you know more, so they're trying to utilise your skills and your knowledge to help other people?
I mean, it's a difficult one to answer that, I think, but I would say just lead your response with empathy and understanding for the other person and listen intently. That's it.
That's what I was going to say. Listen intently. Like, I think it's really important that as the person that is doing said thing, tokenism, whatever we want to call it, you need to listen, because at this point, you've made someone feel a certain way. You made someone feel like they're being used, and earmarked because of their sexuality or because of who they are, their characteristics. Yeah. So I think at this point you just need to listen. Yeah. Listen. But thank you for that question. That's a great scenario, and I love that. Can we have more scenarios, please? Please, if you've got any more scenarios, call or text the hotline.
I love scenarios as well, because one thing that Olajide and I love to do in our workshops is use real life scenarios so that what we're delivering lands massively because it's shared experiences.
Massively. Another question here, which is, what are the solutions, would you say, to tokenism? You know, coming from in a business setting or in a day-to-day life setting.
What are the solutions for tokenism?
Yeah. To tokenism, yeah.
Don't do it.
I guess what the person's potentially what I'm guessing they're trying to say is, like, if you feel like you are trying to do the right thing in your head, you're trying to do the right thing, right? And to you, the right thing is potentially making sure that you do have representation. So what's the solution behind not feeling like it's tokenism and it's actually representation? Because the two are...
Just make sure that you are, getting the voices and the opinions of your people and responding to what they want and what they need, and making sure, there's all different avenues, making sure that your recruitment process is tight, making sure that your internal progression pathways are, fit for everybody in the individual way that the person needs, if that makes sense, so we need to have learning and development and making sure that you're communicating with your employees and understanding what each individual needs for learning and development to make sure that they progress.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
And those are our two questions this week, which, I really appreciate it that you our community are sending these questions in and these scenarios. It really, really helps. And actually, it helps educate other people and it helps bring all this work to life. So thank you, community.
Thank you, community.
So let's move on to the next segment of our poddy, and it's Manny's, the Manny's of the week. What's your manifestation for this week?
I'm so bad at this. I understand that everybody is probably really annoyed all the time that I don't come prepared with my Manny.
God, I'm exhausted from it.
Again. I know. It's actually such a big task.
Okay, so my my manifestation for this week is networking. I think I got a nice little taste of it this week, and I realised that I'm very blessed with the ability to talk, and I should use that skill more, and also use my network more. I am a very, very what's the word I would use?
I've got so many words springing to mind.
I am a very humble man, and I don't like asking for help. I really strive. I don't know why I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. I don't like asking for help, right? I don't like asking for help. And I realised that I actually have a huge network of people that I've known and met for years, and I never lean on any of my network for any support or for any help or for any, connect me with this person or advice. I'm very much like, this is me, this is us, this is it. We just do it on our own.
Yeah.
And I feel like from speaking the other day, networking the other day at that event, I was like, actually, we spoke to a gentleman, I can't remember his name now, Mishak. And
he was so cool.
He was just filling me with information and I was like, oh my God, I've known him for so long. I've never called upon him to ask him questions about stuff. And I was like, I should do this more. I should actually just pick up the phone and call people in my network and ask for advice.
Yeah, he was great.
I surround myself. I've got so many people that own businesses or that run businesses or that are leaders in great companies. I haven't called upon anyone to ask them if they want to work with us or if they can advise me on how to grow our business or do you know what I mean? It's silly.
Yeah.
So my manifestation this week is around networking and leaning on my network more.
Nice.
Very nice. Network.
I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. What's your Manny?
He's also hoping for a music signing deal?
I'm looking for a music deal. I'm looking for a lot, actually. Anyone that wants to sponsor me to get into the music industry, please holler. I'm absolutely open for that. I could be a backing singer for Beyonce.
Oh, for sure.
Or Burna Boy.
Oh my.
Anyway,
Brilliant.
what's your manifestation?
I
this
might
week?
just piggyback off of yours.
Oh my Lord. Fucking hell. I feel like you did that once before.
No,
Okay.
we swapped ones one week, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, so it was equal. Oh, shit. Just hit the mic.
Okay. So what your manifestation is?
I'm going to expand my network. There you go.
Yeah.
Expand my network.
Yeah.
So I'm not very good at that.
Okay. Tell more.
Well, I also like talking to people a lot, and I talk to people a lot when I'm out and about, but I'm not very good at the whole like business networking thing. Like I kind of don't follow up on a lot of my connections.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
We found that out yesterday, didn't we?
We did find that out yesterday. Yeah.
Potentially, we could be losing millions right now because people are contacting Louisa. So whatever you do, don't contact Louisa. Contact the hotline, please.
That's not true. Yeah, so I think maybe that could be one of my that could be my little money for the week. I could actually start to utilise my talking skills also by following up on my connections
Yeah.
and expanding the network and solidifying them.
And also introducing yourself. Like, we'll be standing there, and someone will come over and they'll be talking to us, and Louisa will just be like nodding in the corner, and I'll be like, "Yeah, this is Louisa."
I don't know when that's ever happened.
It happened yesterday. You were literally standing there like this.
I was just joining the conversation. I expect them to know who I am already.
Oh, okay. Sorry, celeb over there. Just because you got a poddy now.
It was actually a guy who I'd spoken to about 2 years ago. So he did know me.
He did, yeah. He did know you, yeah. Okay, so networking is our group manifestation this week, but very different ways of looking at it.
Team money.
Yours is expanding your network, and mine is just using mine. Cool. But yeah, that is the end of
Next week I will have a prepared money.
You heard it here first, people. She's actually going to come prepared. She's going to be the one that asks me what my money is.
Okay.
And she's going to have hers ready.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Episode 5, everyone, watch out. Watch out. Anyway.
Oh my God, I feel so hot.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So this has been another amazing episode of On the Sofa with Sisu. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in and joining us in this lovely conversation. I'm literally having so much fun doing this. And
I love it.
I don't want it to ever end. Let's all do this for the rest of our lives. I want to be like 85 and still come into the studio.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like
Can we make the studio like on a yacht or something though at 85?
Yeah, James, can you do that?
we get a helipad.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh God, we are so messy.
That is my manifestation for the week, y'all.
A helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, no.
Poddy on a yacht.
I thought your manifestation.
yacht.
I thought your manifestation this week was going to be about the glam squad because you mentioned about wanting to get glammed, and I was like, oh, maybe that be your manifestation this week.
It might be my manifestation next week.
Just stole something that I just gave you. Honestly.
Told you I'd be prepared.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, y'all. Stay brave, stay curious.
And stay honest.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye. If you liked our episode and you like the banter that we have, absolute jokes and the messiness of this whole entire episode, then please go up, scroll and listen to the rest of them because they're even messier. No, but honestly, go and like this episode, follow us,
comment, subscribe,
share it with a friend, please.
colleague, family member, dog, whatever.
Let's wrap it up. Okay? Bye, everyone. Stay curious.
Love y'all.
Stay brave.
Stay honest.
Ciao.